No, the fact that I'm no longer wearing the tie is not an April Fool's joke. This is the real deal. We are in a new month. We are now 1/4 of the way through 2020. And, it's weird. I don't think anyone ever would have thought that what's going on would ever happen. So, it's so surreal for me to even be able to even think this. But the first quarter just ended on kind of a sour note. And unfortunately, I keep hearing stuff like, oh, it's not going to get any better till like Easter, or then the end of April, or the end of May, June. Like, seriously, sometimes I once saw this post on Facebook, but like, was it a Dave Chappelle sort of meme or gif? What was it? Anyway, basically, it said that I'm not even convinced that this whole thing exists. Now, personally, I do not fall underneath the category where, I actually do think this is a real thing. I really do. But, until I see it happen I don't want to jinx this, because of course I wouldn't want this to happen. But unless I see like legitimate proof that, okay, it's there, then I'm not going to be entirely convinced. Wow, this is actually kind of this is the first day in April and I'm relatively, sour. It's April 1st. It's supposed to be April Fool's Day. And it's Hump Day. Happy Hump Day, everybody. You would think that, normally I try not to let stuff like this bring me down, but with everyone acting this way, it's difficult. I mean, I'm not completely down and out, of course not. I can still, as long as I'm still able to, get up in the morning with a smile on my face, knowing that I am an uncle to twins, I'm going to be okay. And as long as we find something to keep us going every day, I was trying to hide that, y'all. I'm sorry. We're going to be okay. You know what? Okay, how do I say this without sounding kind of cheesy? The only legitimate fools here on April Fool's Day will be the ones who let all this bring them down. Because, again, I probably have said this many times in the past, but really every new day is a clean slate. But, again, we just went through March. We are 1/4 of the way through the year. This entire second quarter is a new clean slate that you want to do. And for the most part, even though it's the speed of a glacier, things really are getting better. And, some things are, what helps is that you find good people during this time that you can trust and be around. For me, pretty obvious, foremost it would be, my family, specifically my mother and father. Of course, my brother, his wife, and my nephews too. But because of everything that's going on, it's actually quite difficult to really get into contact with them. If you actually want to see them at all, my brother, his wife, or my nephews, it's gotten to the point where they're staying so reclusive that if you do want to see them, you have to first ask for permission, and then even if you do get the okay, you have to shower and then change whatever outfit you had on. If you already were shouting a nice outfit on, they would probably tell you to do it again. Excuse me. They would probably tell you to do it again. Now, personally, you know, my brother and his wife are very responsible. So, if nothing else, of course, my nephews are safe. And as long as I know that, I'm going to be good. And needless to say that with everything going on, you know, again, there were plans to do a lot of stuff this April, too. I mean, there was supposed to be, you know, Easter brunches and stuff, and I don't think any of that's going to happen at all. How could it happen? You know, I doubt there's going to be, well, you can't really have a gigantic Easter egg hunt without, you know, without lots of people doing it, I guess. Can't really do any of that. I'm sure my family will probably do something small. Why not? Shouldn't be too difficult to be able to do. So, you know, there's that. Again, we are in a new month, so look forward to my arc thoughts, depending on if there's a chapter. Yeah, again, last night I did my arc thoughts then instead of last Thursday because I wait to the end of the month to see if the manga moves forward at all. And even though there wasn't a manga chapter last week, there is going to be a manga chapter this week. So, well, at least I hope there is. I mean, actually, hold on. I'll just quickly look it up. Jeepers. Actually, there is a reason why he went to bed a little bit later than normal. Okay, seriously, where is it? Here it is. If it could load for a moment. Yeah, so the chapter is still scheduled to come out in 5 days from now. So, you know, here's hoping that the whole coronavirus thing isn't really bringing that down. I mean, I don't really think that, you know, Ichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece, really needs to worry about. I mean, first of all, he was just sick. So if nothing else, he's probably built some kind of immunity to some things. But more importantly, again, his job mainly consists of writing and drawing the manga, which not only does he work on that practically 7 days a week, but he gets up at 5 a.m. and goes to bed at 2 in the morning. Needless to say, if he had a compromised immune system, it was like that a long time ago. But my point is, because he's so busy doing that, he just stays in his little writing room all day. In fact, he's had some of his workers just make sure he just stays in there and does his job for as long as he can. So, there's that. Although, if I recall correctly, last year, in both January and March, there was a period of time where we only got 2 manga chapters. So, if it's anything like last year, then this year we should get a steady stream of chapters in a row. I hope we do. I mean, gosh, you know, we just got out of the flashback and every chapter that's come out so far has been pretty good. Granted, it's only been 2 of them, but yeah. It's only been 2 chapters since the flashback ended, and it's been that long. Again, that's what breaks do. You know, you take a 1 week hiatus and then boom, you have nothing there. You know, it's been that long amount of time. So, yeah, there's that. I mean, I guess one thing that's really helped me get through all this negativity and everything that's going on right now I guess really it's the fact that I haven't seen my folks a little bit more. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I just saw them last night for a nice little dinner. It was nice, It was a dinner that consisted of the leftover spaghetti that we had the other night, or spaghetti if you're again under the age of 3. But including that, we had ham and green beans. I love ham. Like ham is just one of those things where, like, once I have it, I just gotta have more of it. It's that good. I really like it. And nothing goes. You can't really go wrong with green beans. Green beans are awesome. I personally love. I will never forget. This would always happen too. So, like, growing up, if you were to ask me, like, what was the one vegetable I ate the most? Because, again, I really was good at eating my vegetables. Well, it's not difficult to eat vegetables, but you know what I mean? Because, some kids simply do not like vegetables. But, I did as well. Partly because I got in the mindset where if I don't have that, I don't get to eat anything at all. And I certainly don't want to go to bed hungry. Nothing is worse than going to bed hungry. Especially if you go to bed being punished without getting dinner. That's always the worst. Oh, I have some bad memories of that. But anyway, seriously, there was so many times growing up where I had green beans that I grew utterly sick and tired of them. I had frozen green beans, I had canned green beans, I had fresh green beans. Although I will say this, if you have green beans legitimately fresh straight out of a garden, picked out of the ground, quickly washed, and then you eat that, that is actually awesome. I actually had a neighbor an old friend who used to be a neighbor in my neighborhood growing up, who his mom had a garden, and I was there one day, and my friend's like, want a green bean? Want green beans? I'm like, sure. And then they just put in my hand I was supposed to eat this like this? Yeah. So I did. Honestly, again, I was a kid, and if I had it now, I would probably really like it. And I don't remember outright hating it, but I'm like, yeah, this actually tastes a little bit better if it's, cooked and, hot. And as a full-grown adult with a palate who is also a foodie, I'll say that, you can do a lot with green beans, but honestly, for me, and this is what we had last night, butter, salt, pepper, green beans. That's all you need. Man. Now I kind of feel bad that I hated green beans for a little while. I do. I really wish I liked green beans more when I was younger. I mean, I love them now. In fact, to be fair, this is something I've been doing forever. And I swear this isn't weird at all. But, say I'm at a fancy restaurant and I get dinner. Or I get dinner at home. And on my plate, you have whatever the meat is, whatever the starch is, and you have whatever the vegetables are. I'm sorry, but the vegetables, unless you are having a legitimately vegan meal, they are not the star of the show. Everything else is the star of the show. So what do? You have your vegetables first. That way you save the best stuff for last. And that's what I've always done. I mean, if nothing else, at least the vegetables tasted good. So there's always that. Seriously, who has ever actually thought I'm going to save the vegetables for the end, even though I clearly just had the best stuff first. Seriously, if you know for a fact the meat is better than the vegetables, and you have the meat first, the rest of your dinner is just going to feel like a total letdown. It's like going to an amusement park, riding the best roller coaster first, and then riding all the other rides. I mean, yes, if you do that in reverse, the best ride is going to have the longest line, but it'll be worth it in the end because everything else won't seem like a giant letdown. So, it's escalation. That's what it is. Escalation, kids. That is the motto for April Fool's Day. So, yeah. I mean, again, it may be April Fool's Day, but I'm not gonna. I mean, come on. Every year I've done. Well, to be fair, the first year I did this was also Easter. So, of course, there really isn't anything that I could, do or say or that's going to ruin the moment. But what I can tell you is, this. I'm not going to, prank anyone. I don't do that in these videos, It's April Fool's Day. People are going to find ways to prank you or make joke videos or do all that stuff throughout the course of the day that will last more than a day if it was all in succession. So, I'm not going to do that. Yes, it is okay to have a good laugh, and considering the times, and a good laugh would do us some good. But, no. I hope that maybe I provided some sort of fun, happy entertainment for you this morning, if nothing else. I hope you got a good laugh out of that. But outside of that, in terms of doing pranks or anything like that, I'm not going to do that here. You don't deserve that kind of a treatment. What the? Did you just get darker for some reason? Weird. No. I should probably get going. So, favorite, share, comment, subscribe. Do all that. Follow me on social media platforms. You know where to look. I'm very humble in this video for all of you guys watching. Enjoy for that. I hope we have a wonderful, wonderful hump day. Or just plain on Wednesday if you want. Or April Fool's Day. First day of April. New month. New clean slate. All that stuff. And remember, if you guys want to talk to channels, we're here to lend an ear. I'll always have your back. Take care. And make good choices. See ya.